Today it's a tale of two tellies. We've got two custom shop tellies that really couldn't be more different, which is where all of the fun begins. So we're going to put them through their paces. Stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name is Chris McKee.
I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to our channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications, and like our videos. If you want to support the channel, visit our spring store link below for custom swag. Check out our podcast. It's called the Fretboard Confessional. So two custom shop tellies, which are always fun. We like
Always
custom shop
time.
Fender stuff.
Yeah.
But these are vastly different, which is kind of a fun exercise when you compare similar maker, similar body style and model, but really very different takes on the classic Telecaster formula. I've got an Artisan. This is a thin line Tele limited edition with a Koa top, which is very cool, and a play on the pickups because we've got your standard big fat singing Tele bridge pickup that we all know and love with the Filtertron pickup in the neck position and some other cool details that we'll go through. And you got the Shop Traveler?
Yeah, you have to say the right name
I'll say, all right. It's the limited Artisan Caballo Ligero.
That's cool for me.
You like that?
Yeah.
With a rolled R? I can say
Yeah.
Villarreal too.
See, that's just how it's done. Born in the Valley.
Born in the Valley.
You can take the boy out
Rio
of the valley.
Grande.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I like how you said with the rolled R, but they said Rio Grande.
I know. Well, it's kind of like here in San Antonio. We have a street called Blanco Road, and if you say Blanco, everyone looks at you funny.
Yeah. Go
But
back
if you
to
say
the valley.
if you say Culebra,
Yeah.
that's wrong. It's like Culebra. It really just depends upon which part of town you're on.
Yeah.
So,
it's whatever. It's no big
Moving
deal.
on.
Bandera.
Bandera.
Yeah, so that's a beautiful guitar. That is from last year's.
I believe it is from last year's. That's how long it took to reach us to see if it says which limited it is. The date is 10/10/23. That's when they finally finished
it.
Yep. No, it looks like it's from 23. Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Our Caballo Ligero.
Yeah, it's just a good time, you know. And over here, very different. I got the double Esquire, not a Tele.
Not a Tele, but what became the Tele, you know.
Yeah.
After we have another double Esquire, which is the extremely heavy relic, drug behind a truck, and I love it dearly guitar. And we did a video on that, and we talked about what the double Esquire was. And the double Esquire actually was a thing.
Yeah.
But it became the Broadcaster, and then became the Nocaster, and then became the Telecaster. But the Esquire was the first iteration of what we know as the Tele with just the bridge pickup. And then it was, we're going to add the neck pickup. It's the double Esquire. So 1950 would have been the year.
So getting into this one really quick, double Esquire, different switching. And do you know how that works?
Different switch, yeah. In fact, that's why we need this specifically. I grabbed the Shop Traveler for this one because I forget the name of the circuit on this. And there's another one in the case, isn't there?
Yeah, there's another circuit.
So this is the, it's been called some other stuff in the past. Let's see if they actually put it on here. I'm probably gonna have to pull it out. But yeah, there's a different switch option situation going on with that, and I think the way it interfaces with the tone pot.
Yeah, so the reason I was looking it up the other day when this one came in. I was very excited, and then we noticed there was another circuit in the case, so you can take this whole thing out. But in the demo, you'll see I went to go roll off the tone knob in the middle position, and I think that's bridge pickup. I mean, neck
a blend.
pickup. Yeah,
It's a blend between the bridge and the neck. Yeah.
It's weird though, because I think the third position is the blend. Middle position, I think, is bypass tone, just the neck pickup.
Yeah.
Something like that. We'll figure it out. But it's a little bit different switching. Everything sounds great. I was watching a video with Julian Lage.
He's such a great player.
Fantastic player, and he was talking about how the Tele is his ideal jazz guitar. You know?
I was talking to somebody else about him the other day, someone who was on our website chatting with us and was interested in jazz music and, you know, is a Tele the wrong thing? And I specifically brought up Julian. I'm like, yeah, and he's not the only jazz player I know that goes with a Tele, but the neck pickup on a Tele, that undersized single coil is such a fantastic tone, which is what I like about the Tele.
Yeah.
Because it really is this like Jekyll Hyde personality.
Yeah.
You know, between the two. And so you can have extreme warmth and then like the loudest person just walked into the room with the bridge pickup.
Yeah, it's super cool, and this guitar is kind of perfect for that. It's also, as you can hear as we go through the pickups, obviously a fantastic country guitar. That bridge pickup is awesome. But yeah, both of these guitars, when we got them, we plugged them in. Really nice kind of acoustic quality, nice resonance, especially neck and middle position over here. Just like a nice full sound. Worked great for jazz. This one obviously is kind of relicked a little bit. Not really, you can't really tell.
They call it a time machine because it doesn't have any relicking and all the hardware looks new.
Well,
but the finish is checked.
What's on the Traveler? Does it say Closet Classic?
It says Time Machine.
I thought Time Machine was the series.
It says 2023 collection Time Machine. Yeah.
To give a little.
I guess it is Closet Classic. Yeah. So the Closet Classic will have yellowed stuff. It won't have patina, and it'll do like this. It's a checked finish.
Yeah, which you
usually
can't
happens
see,
over time.
Can't see really because it's in the video, but the checking on here is awesome.
It's everywhere. It's all over the neck. It's all over the fingerboard. It's all over the body.
Which I like. I mean, the other double Esquire we have.
That one doesn't have a chance to be checked. That one this one feels light. I think it's sub 7 pounds. I haven't weighed it yet, but the other heavy relic one that we have at our Northwest store that I spend a lot of time with is 6.7 pounds. And of course it's light. It has no finish on it.
Yeah.
It's super resonant. This one has some really interesting notes on it that I really dig, and some things that I want to point out. So one, it's got the flathead screws, which vintage Fender aficionados know that's of a particular era. No Phillips head screws here. It's all flathead. I really like that. It's a two-piece offset. So it's a two-piece body, but not book matched. Again, it's all going with like the time frame. Here's an interesting one. It is no wire channel under the pick guard. So typically when you pull off the pick guard on a Tele, you've got this channel, that's basically cut to bring the wire through from the neck pickup down, and it's not on this, which is cool. I actually like that.
There's not even any wires in here.
You can't even hide your drugs under the pick guard. Like, what's the deal? You have to buy a different Telecaster for that.
Yeah.
So,
American Pro 2.
That's right. Other than that, so yeah, the Fat 50s assembly is in the case in case you don't want to go with the blend situation that's on here. I actually think it's cool. They did something similar with the, because the very first Telecasters, you had this blend that would basically make it sound like a bass. And when they did the American Vintage back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, that's how they shipped. And then they started going, well, no one really wants that.
Yeah.
Let's just put it in the case if you want to have it really,
it's
specific. Cool. So, yeah, very cool. Did you feel the radius on there is a 7.5 to 9, or 7.25 to 9.5.
So you go from modern flair.
Yeah, you go from a very vintage up by the nut to your very modern type. With a riff saw neck. That's the second custom shop with a riff saw neck that I've seen in as many weeks. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
Let's talk about this guy, the Caballo Ligero, because it's got some cool stuff. So it's a new old stock, right? So it's basically, it says it's a 52 Tele, but it's a thin line. And it's new old stock because there's no wear on it whatsoever, because it's an Artisan.
There's no old stock that looked like this.
No, there were no guitars. This has some interesting tuners. I want to see what they call them in here.
Am I right?
So the neck is a 63. The body's a 52 thin line. You've got a 51 no-caster in the bridge. And then, of course, you've got the neck pickup is the Filtertron from Gretsch, because Fender and Gretsch. RSD Tele. Bridge holes, and very cool, just plain lacquer. Amber tint finish on the Koa and on the back. And what is the body with? That's what I wanted to see.
That's got to be mahogany, right?
I think so, but I want to make sure it's not a specific kind of... It's blackwood. Yeah. So
it's acacia.
It's another acacia, yeah. So Koa is a species of acacia. Tasmanian blackwood is a species of acacia. So you've got acacia, one's Hawaiian, and one is Tasmanian. So
Pacific Brothers.
Pacific Brothers, I like that. There's another cool Tele we just got that's already spoken for that has Michigan mahogany body, which came from an old guitar factory in Michigan. If you know, you know. Yeah, basic controls here: double stack, telly for the humbucker and the neck, and yeah, you've got your 51 Nocaster. So this is really this is your more of your modern Telecaster. It's a 9.5 radius.
Modern, but definitely experimental. Also great, versatile sound, but just different, you know.
The anodized pickguard's really nice, and I think it complements the hues.
I like the RSD too.
Yeah, that's always
That's
really
the good
nice
stuff right there.
Yeah, we're a fan of that. What's interesting, and I don't see it called out here, but the tuners have these pearl buttons that are different than, they're like, I don't know, tic-tac kind of shape. They're these oval, squared off. They're not rounded. They're cool, and they're very different. And I don't see any information on them.
Custom tuners. But they look sharp. They match the guitar well.
Yeah, it's just a cool looking, nice modern artisan style guitar. This is kind of these are the two things that the custom shop does really well: vintage inspired with a few modern flares on them, and then very modern artistic take on a classic design.
Yeah.
And they sound very, very different.
Very different, but I try my best to kind of go through each of the pickup selectors and give you some of the same vibe, a lot of chords and then noodling around so you can hear kind of the differences. But both very easy to play, definitely different from each other. This doesn't have necessarily the biggest baseball neck, but it's still thick to a certain degree. That
This
feels
is
a little bit
60s
more
thin,
modern.
yeah.
But yeah, they both sound great. They both feel great. It's just kind of up to whatever style you're looking for. Good news is if you like this one and you want it to look totally beat to hell,
You can do it on your
we
own.
have we have another one that kind of looks like that. But yeah, let's take a listen.
So there you have it. While Cooper was playing, I found out a little bit more information. AAA rosewood, lamb on that fingerboard. And the buttons they just call vintage Fender logo pearl buttons. But they're different than any other pearl buttons that I've seen, so
Yeah.
I like them.
They're nice.
Anyways, very cool guitars, very different guitars for different players. I really like the chunky neck on this. I really like the nice thinner neck on that. They're both very cool.
If you had to pick.
I'd probably go with the double Esquire. I'm partial to this.
Yeah, I would be the same. I think there's always room for a very classic Tele Esquire, but there's a lot of options from American Vintage, all kinds of custom shop. I think that one just kind of fits the vibe. You know?
Yeah, I like the blonde on it too. I tend to like butterscotch.
Yeah.
But I've been educated that this is kind of what they traditionally look like, and then they just yellowed over time with the lacquer, which this surely will as well.
Yeah.
I do like this is a nice light under 7 pound, I think, one, but yeah, I mean, that's really light too. And
It's empty.
the tone you get out of that bridge pick or the neck pickup is
Yeah, a little TV Jones action. It's
Yeah,
just,
it's very cool.
very cool. Jangly, but not piercing, and still thick and warm. You know, it's a definitely a different sound. But like I said, both of them have a nice kind of acoustic quality when played clean. Both handle kind of a little push very nicely. But I'm the Esquire guy. This is definitely for the person looking for something a little more unique.
well, and the combination of the TV Jones and the No-Casters, just a really great combo.
Yeah, nice flame on the neck too.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, they're both very cool, both very different, and they're both available on our website, which is alamomusic.com.
That was
where
a great
you
segue.
Hey, thank you so much. Where you can dive into the specs a little bit more, ask questions about them. If you're looking for the serial number on that one, it's there.
You got the split
Yeah, that's
barrel,
cool.
and you know, it's funny. So our good friend Blake, the other one that he's got, had those same saddles, which actually look like bullets with the split in the middle. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool, I say.
Yeah,
That's
but
cool.
if you want to learn more, check it out or chat with us online, email us, call us, come into the store. You can play both of them. We got kind of a selection of custom shops at both locations. So if you're closer to the north side of San Antonio, go see Chris. And if you're downtown, go see Chris over at the Babcock. It's just short drive.
You're here. Just come downtown.
Yeah, we'll go wherever you want. You know, we're hanging out. We're ready to go. But
Yeah.
there you go.
Well, tell us what you think about them in the comments. Which one do you prefer? What did you think about the tones between them? The controls on this. Would you leave? Here's a good question I want to hear from everybody in the comments. Would you leave it like it is, or would you switch it back to the other control layout? I think I'd leave it like it is. So tell us what you think below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, you turn on notifications, and you like our videos, and you come back for more. And we will see you next time.